I had built a super successful business, but I was a workaholic working 70 hours a week. You know, I started getting super stressed out again. I started doing all of that, and my world started crumbling around me again, but in this like spiritual world, in this world of health and healing and wellness that I was working in. And I was like, okay, because inside there was a fear. I never want to be homeless again or desperate or have to rely on someone else. And so I had built something out of that.
Hello, and welcome back to Beyond Common Business Secrets. I have such an amazing special guest for you guys today, and I cannot wait to introduce Melissa Binkley to you guys. She is the founder of the Intuitive Intelligence Academy. She is a quantum healer and spiritual psychologist, certified mastery transformational coach, soul and business strategist, a #1 international bestselling author. Melissa uses several techniques that infuse science and spirituality, personal development, and the quantum field. Her trainings include neuroscience, quantum physics, cognitive behavioral therapy called NLP, transpersonal psychology, consciousness, heart science, health coaching, transformational coaching method, and spiritual and energy healing techniques. Melissa is conducting the world's largest miracles experiment, and her docu-series Quantum Miracles Mastery: How to Create Miracles Today So You Can Heal Anything has reached nearly 1 million people. Melissa is a highly dynamic, sought-after speaker and thought leader who has shared platforms with Marianne Williamson, St. John DeMartini, Lewis Howes, Deepak Chopra. I always say his name wrong. Gabby, always. Deepak, I love you, man. I'm sorry. I always botch that one. Jack Canfield, and is also a teacher for the Institute of Integrative Nutrition and on the board of several human trafficking organizations worldwide. Melissa has been featured in Inc. magazine, Authority magazine, and BuzzFeed, as well as on countless TV, radio, and podcasts worldwide. Melissa, welcome to Beyond Common Business Secrets. I knew I loved you at hello, and I knew you had accomplished so many things, but when I was reading through your bio, I was like, oh my God, you are like such a miracle. You've done so many amazing things. Welcome, welcome. We're so grateful that you're here with us today and bringing all your miracle magic. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here and to share on your platform.
Well, it's so exciting. I had the honor and privilege of someone reaching out and asking me if I could meet with Melissa. And I was like, I would love to. And we hit it off right away. So thank you so much. I was so honored to be part of your docu-series. And so I was like, please come on the podcast. I cannot wait to interview you. So thank you. So tell me, like, how did this all start? And like your bio is like, it's literally, it could roll down the street, right? So tell me how you got started on this journey.
Oh wow! So you want the story? Okay, well here we go. I grew up in a very traumatized familial situation. By the age of 10, I was a 10 out of 10 on the ACE score, which ACE means adverse childhood experiences. Which there's 10 questions that psychologists put together, and for every question that you can answer yes to before the age of 18. They say exponentially your risk of suicide, depression, drugs, you name it, like all those different things exponentially grows. Well, by 10, I was a 10 out of 10. So, but I was a super high achiever, a perfectionist, straight A student. So I was one of those people that like hid all of my wounds and my trauma and the things that were happening on the inside, and became the perfectionist on the outside and the people pleaser, and someone that nobody knew what was going on in my world and in my home, and the abuse that I had been experiencing, and the mental and emotional, like all of those things that were happening in my life. And so I kind of like skated through. I tried to commit suicide at the age of 12 after I lost my mom. And then at 17, I was locked in a garage and brutally raped. And that was like, and I had already been sexually traumatized before that, but it was like the icing on the cake. It was kind of when my whole world fell apart. And I was like the thing that I was like, I'm done. I can't do anymore. Like and I had massive PTSD. I went to college. I went to the Ohio State University, and again, a high achiever, graduated, top of my class, like we did really well. But you could find me in closets with bite marks up and down my arm. I got married. I had a kid. All of this while in college, and then immediately after having my kid, I had an eating disorder. Actually, when I got pregnant with my child, I weighed 111 pounds. Now I'm 5'11" and I weigh 155 now, and I'm fit and wear a size 2 at 155 pounds. So can you imagine if you dropped 45 pounds off of my butt, what I looked like? And so by the time I got out of college in 2000, I was married and divorced with a kid, massive trauma, and was deep into drugs, and was all of these crazy things that were starting to go on in my life. But I got a six-figure job straight out of college because I was a freaking person, achiever. And then very soon after that, I was skating through life on the surface, like living through life on the surface with my kid and with everything. And then 9/11 happened, and we all remember 9/11, right? And when 9/11 happened, I lost my job because I worked for a Tiger team that worked in the Ohio Department of Health and the Ohio Department of Transportation, and we were a computer systems company, and we shut down completely. And when that happened, I did what any traumatized I was like 22-year-old would do. I became an international drug trafficker.
Oh, that's new. I haven't heard that before. No one I've
Right.
ever you had said that. So I love how you
You
said
know,
that. What anyone do.
I mean, like because I was already partying, like I was a candy, I was a raver and a candy kid and doing all these drugs and had all these different things. And I was in the space, but I had this, job. I had graduated top of my class. Like I was like on the outside, nobody knew. Like everybody's like this perfect girl. I was super freaking skinny, right? Like all of these things. And I did. That's what I did. So I ended up trafficking drugs, and there ended up being a worldwide drug bust that put people all over the world into jail, and I was one of two that walked away. And my life kind of changed after that. And so I decided that I was going to try to figure out how to heal my shit, heal my life. And because I'd been interested. I had been a deeply intuitive child. I had always been connected to stuff. But I had all of these bodies issues. I had been diagnosed bipolar. I had, eating disorder. I had physical skin symptoms, adrenal fatigue. I tried becoming a fitness competitor. Like I tried all of these things, and I did that. And so in my journey to trying to heal myself, I walked away from that life in 2004. And I spent 5 years doing like the thing that everybody says is the way that you're supposed to live life. I got the job. I went from like being, into the drugs and doing all that stuff to just your normal like drinking, like that kind of thing. And I spent 5 years kind of in this limbo of having a job and doing that, doing all that stuff, and and thinking like reading the books, right? Like reading knowledge, no implementation. Still drinking a lot, like living in in that kind of experience and stuff, but way different than my life was before. I didn't have an eating disorder; I'd healed that, but now I had an exercise disorder, right? Like it was kind of like those things. So 5 years into my journey of like trying to figure things out, I said that was when I had my first dark night of the soul. I had my coming to Jesus moment, and the world kind of came crashing around down on me. I got fired from my job. My girlfriend left me, and I got evicted from my apartment all within 6 months, and I ended up homeless. So I spent a year in my car, living on people's couches, kind of like surfing around, doing different things, trying to figure out my life. And in that time frame, when I was doing that, was when I found the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, where I became a student, and I kind of got introduced on a deeper level into I call it IIN, the gateway drug. It led me into deeper work around my own spirituality and around all of that, and that led me into becoming a health coach. And then that it was like this thing that kind of built on each other. So I was homeless in 2009, and by 2015 I had built an international organization, and was helping people all over the world. So it was like all this stuff, but the key was I was doing it because I was trying to heal myself, right? I was
Okay.
trying to heal my own things that had happened. And then the business, as I started my business in 2010, and now 12 years later, I mean, I'm still here, and we've helped over 10,000 people around the world. This docu-series that we're doing actually is our third annual, and each year we have reached over 1 million people. We just got the numbers in for this year for what our reach is so far, and we just surpassed 1 million again. So it's going to be pretty fantastic. I also have a documentary and a movie coming out, and some other really cool things that are happening. So.
That's amazing. So what's your goal with the docu-series? Like, what was the goal?
The goal, so it's called Quantum Miracles Mastery Heal. How to create miracles today so you can heal anything. And what I want to show is that a miracle is an everyday occurrence that will allow you to heal your life. And so we have tools, techniques, experiential exercises, meditations, things you may have never heard of before, like sound healing or EFT, and maybe things that you have. And each person, I've interviewed the top spiritual leaders, doctors, scientists from around the world, people like Neil Donald Walsh, right? And Mark Nepo and Dean Radin, and of course, like, Dr. Sue Morter and Lynn Taggart, like, these people that you hear about that have these incredible, like, techniques or things that they've been sharing with the world. And every single one of them spends time with you, interacting and really teaching you something. So our goal and our intention is not for you to get more information. Listen, I did information for 5 years before I realized that information wasn't enough. You must have implementation. You must embody it. So our goal is to implement and embody techniques for this conscious revolution, for the experience that we're going into. We are in the golden age. We are in the midst of a conscious revolution where we will start to understand that our minds and bodies and souls are more powerful than anything on the outside of you, more powerful than a medication that you're taking, more powerful than the different types of things that are happening around you. I have somebody that on one of our things that teaches that they've scientifically proven that his technique is scientifically more effective than taking Prozac or any kind of medication for depression. Now, for me, I'm like, well, why isn't the whole world knowing this? And I was like, well, that's a whole other discussion about pharmaceuticals, right?
Right.
But that's the goal is like, if we can reach 1 million people every year and have that, we're going to reach a critical mass where people are going to start to understand that this thing, these ideas, the quantum field, miracles, healing is not woo-woo, but actually scientifically based, and we can show you that and how.
I love that you said the word woo-woo, because that is something people say to me all the time and on the podcast. So that's hilarious. That they're like, Trace, you always give us like tangible, tactical things to implement, and you're woo-woo. So I love, like, right? Like, they are colliding now.
Yeah.
We figured out, but I mean, I cannot wait to hear his technique. This is amazing. Like, why? That's what we should be passing around to everybody.
He's actually, so it's Dawson Church, if you guys don't know who he is, and he's actually working with the military. They have over 5 million thousand followers, and he started the Institute for National, I'd have to look up it. Anyways, I have read all of Dawson Church's books.
I've read a couple of his books because I recognize
he's a scientist. He's amazing. He's the scientist behind all of Joe Dispenza's work, right? Oh, like, if that's where you right, he's the one that's doing all that stuff, and it's absolutely incredible to understand this. And so that's one technique. One of the other things I've had people heal from addiction. I had a woman that came to one of my retreats that had was addicted to meth, and that was 3 years ago, and has never touched it again. Right? When you can teach people how to create their own personal DMT in their brain, when you can align and shift their body, these things that you think sound really woo woo, but have scientifically been proven how energy in the quantum field works and quantum physics, you start to understand how powerful this stuff is. It's really incredible.
It's amazing. And given what your journey has been in your history of your story, it's like, what do you think was that turning moment that led you to shift completely into like, it sounds like you used to like replace one addiction for another. And we've all done that, right? Like
Yeah.
I remember I used to smoke cigarettes and then I ate cookies. I mean, it's like you always, it's like replacing something, right? So the thing is that we're always like, when did you get to the point that you felt the release, and like, how did that happen for you?
I think that was actually not until 2016. So like late in the journey. So I was doing the work, working with others, helping others. And although I don't have an addiction. I've never had an addictive personality. I just was numbing or trying different things. Like I can have a glass of wine. I can whatever. Like I can go exercise normal now and stuff and everything. But I don't think that I got to a point where, and maybe I still do replace it with something else, because now it's the meditation and things like that. Because even up until 2015, I had built a super successful business, but I was a workaholic working 70 hours a week. I started getting super stressed out again. I started doing all of that, and my world started crumbling around me again, but in this like spiritual world, in this world of health and healing and wellness that I was working in. And I was like, okay, because inside there was a fear. I never want to be homeless again, or desperate, or have to rely on someone else. And so I had built something out of that. And so in 2000, at the end of 2015, after the last conference that I did up until 2019, there my the event, we had like around 200 people in the room. It ended up, what the people got on inside had massive transformation, but what was happening in the background was absolute terror and hell, with my sales team, with my wife, with everything that was happening. And I walked away from that event and I said, I'm done. And I literally said that I was done. And I spent the next year deeply going into like more deep spiritual work, going to retreats with my gurus, going to places where books would fall off of the shelf, and I would open it up and be like, exactly what I need to read today. That was the year that I learned how to stop controlling and forcing, and how to lay into surrender, and flow showed up for me. So I hit something that I had taught and understood, but wasn't living, because I didn't have faith yet. I didn't have that trust and faith, and so it took me all of those years. And in 2016, everything kind of mesmerized and shifted, and that was at the end of 2016 that I built the academy.
Wow, that's beautiful. So you have a big goal of sharing this with everyone. What, like, if somebody in the audience is suffering and needs this type of work to help, like, what is like one tangible thing that you can share with them right now?
So what I say, the first place to start, we teach something in our programs called the heart breath. Now the heart breath is, the reason it's so powerful is your heart is 5,000 times magnetically stronger than your brain, 100 times electrically stronger. The field, the quantum field, is electromagnetic signals. So what we understand and know is that when we create a disease or an illness in our body, or when we have a challenge in our lives or anything like that, we think that, the law of attraction says thoughts create things. Well, if your thought is something good, but your heart's not in that space, and your heart and your chakras closed down, and all of those things, what happens is that the electromagnetic signals that you're sending from your body out to the field are returning the disease and illness, or the wrong things, or the financial situations, or all that shit to you, right? So what we want to do is we want to create what's called I call it alchemical alliance, alchemical alignment, or coherence, or harmony, whatever, between your heart and your brain, and connect those two organs together, so that the signals from the heart, from your little brain on your heart that actually controls your cranial brain, can start to send proper signals to the brain, and then the brain sends a proper signal to the body, and then the body heals itself. So it's a really simple thing that you can do when you do this simple breath, which I have them free on my YouTube channel and my Vimeo. You can go and you can get the actual instructions and the meditation for yourself, but you can start right now. And first, this is how you figure this out. First, we want to find where our heart chakra is, right? Like that heart space. And I always say this right here. So funny, prayer hands, right? Like they know now ancient technology is that the prayer hands were so that when you did this, it connected you to your heart. It wasn't about whatever. It
No,
was
it's
about
always this.
it
Yeah.
was about connecting because when you touch your heart, that heart chakra with your part of your body, whether you do it like this or like this, it automatically drops your brain from a beta wave and drops you into this inner space. So you drop you touch here, right? And then you just breathe a little bit. You're going to just start breathing in through your heart first. You're just sending a signal to your body and your brain that you're walking into your inner world. So what we're going to do is now I want you to just come and check in here. So you have right here is your crown chakra. There's this little spot. Remember when you were a baby or when you play with a baby and have that little soft spot? So just imagine, put a little pin like that's where we're going. Okay, we're going here. So we're going to take this breath from here that we're going to slow down and touch, and we're going to take it to here. So you're going to, when you breathe in, you're just going to breathe in a really slow 5, and we're going to breathe in for 5, hold for 5, holding right up into this area, and breathe out for 5. And as you do, I want you to imagine like there's a beautiful white light or whatever color you love pouring into your heart, traveling up. It's called your heart line, that spine, and it's pushing what the healing, the cerebral spinal fluid is pushing it up into the pineal gland, this area here, so that it can start to connect and heal. And then the last step is as we do this, I'm going to give you a prompt and I'm going to have you feel a feeling of love or gratitude or appreciation. Now, sometimes people say that's really hard for them. So if it's hard for you, just imagine a little puppy or a baby or somebody that you love, right? Okay. So you are going to just do, and we'll just do like 3 or 4 rounds of this breath, but usually you want to do 10 and it's 2 minutes and it changes everything. Okay. So here we go. So
Yeah.
hands placed on the heart. Just start to slow down and breathe a little bit. And on your next breath, you're going to breathe in for 5. So breathing in, imagining that breath is flowing up. Now hold for 5, holding into the center of your forehead. Kind of start to squeeze and hold. And then breathe out, imagining that breath and light is coming out through your heart. Now you're going to repeat that breath, breathing in. And then squeezing and holding at the top. And then breathing out. Now on your next breath, I want you to feel a feeling. I want you to imagine whatever you need to or feel or notice and start to feel that feeling of love, unconditional love, gratitude, appreciation. Start to feel it in your body. What would it take for you to feel love and appreciation, gratitude right now? And then holding that breath at the top. And breathing out again. And keep breathing, feeling this breath, allowing it, and then breathing it in, and still feeling that feeling, love, joy, appreciation. Sometimes I just say thank you, thank you, thank you, over and over and over. And the thing is you do that for 5 breaths, and it literally creates 1,300 positive physiological changes in your body in that short amount of time.
Wow. I did not know that. That's amazing. Just to know the number.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's amazing. I have people that I say it's the 5-minute solution. I promise you do this once a day for 2 weeks. And I have had people come back and have incredible just from doing this because it's changing the energetic electromagnetic signals around your body, in your brain, and it's a first step. It's a first step to true transformation and allowing yourself on different levels. We teach 4 different pillars in our quantum alchemy healing certifications and trainings and our stuff, but these different pillars of like, you have to heal on different levels. And this is that first step.
So if somebody wants to go deeper and get this certification, can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because it sounds amazing.
Yeah, so it's an 8-month training that we do. 6 months is diving deep into the first 3 months is all about transforming ourselves. So you're learning each and every specific technique that has to do with your bioenergy field, your heart. So we teach the heart science, the brain science, the bioenergetic field, but we also do experiential work around each thing. So it's not just energy medicine, it's also rewiring the brain, it's the neuroscience, it's all these things. And it is this deep intensive training where like we had a woman that that took our program last year, and the profound effects that it had just on herself, it changed her business so much that the second month of the program, she had her first 30K month ever, and she had never broken 10 before. And it was, she didn't do anything different, right? She was energetically shifting. So, and we've had people heal from stage 4 cancer. Have had people that have, were having hip surgeries and couldn't walk, and were able to completely start walking again. So physical, I've had a woman end up getting pregnant, hadn't been able to get pregnant for 3 years. All these like really cool things that can happen in your life. And so I tell people, even if you would never want to do this as, because it is a certification, meaning that even if you never want to use it as a business, the way that you learn how to heal yourself, that filters out through your life and your family and your friends, is so incredible that most people that come to our programs, like we have a government official that took our program and is now starting something for the government. We've had doctors and psychologists. We've had, like all these different interesting people, that lawyers, I've had a couple lawyers take it. They are like, completely changed the way that they do things. So it is a healing modality that has become something that people are like, I want to heal myself. And then as they go through the program, they're healing so much. They're like, you know what? I want to learn I can implement this into something that I'm already doing.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. So what we do is we spend 6 months deep in that training. We have some live events and retreats that we go with it. And then we give you some business training on how to implement it.
That's amazing. I love that. Well, and I'm thinking of so many people that could benefit from that, because sometimes it is just like breaking through, right? Especially like, because I do a lot of work with business owners, and sometimes it's like, you can tell 100 people the same tactical, steps,
Yeah.
but it like, why isn't it working for me? It's like, because sometimes there's just like trauma and
Other
stuff
stuff
that's
going on.
blocked. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that is awesome. To know that exists, because it's just there, you just need to create space and freedom
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
step into your
We
great.
actually do. We actually, it's funny that you say, because we started doing programs specifically for conscious entrepreneurs and different things. Like we have something called the abundance code, and it's like all the layering in of things that lead up to that bigger training. Because it is like, for a fact, I've worked with business owners a lot of all over the world and stuff too, and that's not what I focus on anymore. But I know the challenge even around myself and stuff of what happens when you get into your own way. And sometimes it's like I've worked on a lot of stuff, but your body may still be holding on to something, or maybe in your energetic field, or there may be a distortion or something that is keeping you from going to that quantum leap to that next level.
Yeah, it's like, I'm healed. Why? Like, I've even been like, but I'm healed. Like, this should be working. So I feel that. So with the upcoming third annual docu-series, like what can we expect? Like, let us know so that we can share.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the Quantum Miracles Mastery docu-series, we have interviewed over 30 experts and leaders with experiential classes. So those experiential, we're going to dive deep in with you. I suggest getting out pen and paper when you come to join us. So when you sign up, you will get our information on a daily basis, and you'll get to see, okay, this is what's happening in class today. This is what you do. But you'll also get they are recorded for you, so you'll get a period of time where you can catch up if you don't get to see everybody each day. But we also have a live every day. We'll be doing like a live class. We have a live sound healing with one of our experts. We have a live quantum healing class. We have a live, I think we're doing the abundance call. So every day we have a live experience that goes with the online interviews from the docu-series, so that you can really immerse yourself. So it's 7 days long, and it is going to, our goal, like I said, in our third annual, and we get, testimonials and interviews, from every year. Like, so much shifted for me. I was able to do these different things. That's our intention. If we can, and I say, if it changes one person's life, it's incredible, and it's already changed so many's. And so I know this year will be the same. Is that one person that might be able to find this, and it changed their lives. Actually, our first docu-series, in that we did, during COVID, was in 2020, and there was someone that was on their deathbed in the hospital with stage 4 cancer that watched the docu-series and ended up coming into our one of our quantum programs, and extended, it's now 2022, they were dying, and extended their life for several years. They are now sick again, but at that time they completely healed the cancer. It was gone from their body. But if you understand the energetics of what happens when if you don't completely clear a pattern, right? So, but to have that kind of thing and say, I've seen this happen and do that. That's my intention and my goal. So you never know. We've had, PTSD, trauma, different things. Like, anybody can have an experience, a shift, and that's our goal with this.
I love that. And I experienced just recently, it's been in the last year, and I've done it 3 times, the sound bath meditation.
Oh yeah, they're incredible, right?
Yeah, right. I'm like obsessed. I keep telling everyone about it. So I'm so excited that you guys are doing that.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's
Awesome.
amazing. Yeah. So I was like, why doesn't everyone know about this? It's the coolest thing ever. So yeah, I'm really excited to share that. Well, is there anything else that we need to know? This sounds so
I
amazing.
think that what you need to know is come check it out. Join
Yeah.
us. Tracey is one of our is a new person for us this year. I'm so glad we got introduced, and she's sharing on the docu-series, and you're going to meet so many other amazing people. I think that I've said enough. Yeah, I don't need to hear from me. You're going to hear from all these other amazing people.
Well, you are just so amazing. We're so grateful that you have, done all this that you've done to bring everyone together. I know it's going to be an amazing event, and I'm just honored to be a part of it. So, I'll drop the link in the show notes so that everyone knows about it. And then is there anything else that, we need to know to get a hold of you, Melissa?
You can always go to our website, intuitiveintelligenceacademy.com. And through that, you can find our podcasts. You can get to some of our meditations, different things like that. Again, my name is Melissa Binkley. So pretty much if you put my name in Google or on any of the social media platforms, you'll find me.
Well, thank you so much. We are so, so grateful and cannot wait to attend. Thank you so much, Melissa.